You bought an estate in Lagos 5 years ago. 5 years ago till now, that estate has not developed. You bought a property somewhere and they told you that they are going to do paved roads, they are going to do water, they are going to make the place habitable. Since 10 years ago, the place has not developed. What are the causes of this lack of development when it comes to real estate investment in Nigeria? Because if you check it, if all the estates that have been sold in this Lagos developed, wow, Lagos would probably by now be a mega city. But there are a lot of lands that have been sold, a lot of estates model that have been sold until today. As we speak right now, they are not developed yet. So this in this video, I'm going to be exposing 5 reasons, and the reason why that estate you bought has not developed may fall into one of these reasons. My name is Ebube from Correct Homes and Properties, and if you're seeing me for the first time, or if you've been watching my video and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, this is where I beg you. So please subscribe to my channel, so when I release beautiful videos henceforth, you'll be among the first people to see it. And if at the end of this video you're able to grab one or two things, learn one or two things, so I want to say please share with your friends, share with your family, and let them also follow my channel. This problem that I'm going to be speaking about here, about estates not being developed in Lagos, has affected a lot of investors in the terms that they just tell you that it will be the one that we bought yesterday, they never do anything, and you're telling me to come and buy another one. How am I sure that they will develop this one that you're even talking about? Because if you know how many lands I have bought in that your Lagos, until tomorrow we cannot even access the place, then you not tell me to come and buy another land. So a lot of investors get disillusioned about investing in real estate in Lagos because of this problem. So in this video, I'm going to break it down. We are going to see the reasons why, and most times you will find out that it's not what you're probably thinking. It may not be the developer. It may just be some things that just happened out of the blue that have stopped the estate from developing. So in this video, we are going to break it down one after the other, so you can see that if you are encountering such problem, then this might just be the reason why it is happening that way. Let's start with the obvious reasons, which you think this is probably the major reason why estates are not developed in Nigeria. Number one, the developer. The developer of an estate is a primary reason if an estate will be developed or not. That's why I always say there are developers and there are developers. Some people get into the real estate business to make money, which you can't fault, but their primary reason is to make money. Why some people get in to bring value, then make money. Understand what I mean? They talk about value first before they talk about making money, because of course it's a business and you can't stop them from making money. But some people only get into the business to make money, and this is where we have a major problem. Someone who is just in the business to make money will just sell you any land anywhere, whether the documentation is correct or not. They just sell you. In fact, he may not have even totally bought the land. He may just have given the family or those who are in charge of the land some money to hold while he starts selling the estate. He comes up with a plan. I'll give you this, I'll give you this, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. Price it so low that when you see, you'll think, oh, this is a good property, the price is affordable, and just let me rush it. Now, the time you rush, and later your eyes clear that, wow, this person just sold us a bush and he has no plan to develop the estate. So it is important the developer you invest with is very important. You must have come to a conclusion by something you see, an antecedent, a past report, that this person is not only interested in making money, is interested in bringing value to the real estate space in Lagos, Nigeria. Then if you can balance this, if you can make sure of this, then you will be in good hands, because the developer is first and foremost a major reason why most estates are not developed in Lagos. The second reason why most estates are not developed in Nigeria is I'm sorry, you. Yes, you, the investor, are the number two reason why most estates are just left the way they are for years, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. What do I mean by you? You'll be surprised that most estates you hear that are sold out, you hear the estate just got released, and before you know it, it's sold out. Those estates sold out 80% most times, sold out on initial deposit. Yes, I can mention to you a couple of estates right now that are going through difficult phase of development because most clients just saw that, okay, this is a good product, and they throw in the deposit. And you know what they do in Lagos right now? They make the deposit so low that you are convinced that it is something you can do. You are looking at a property of, let's say, 30 million naira, and the deposit is just 1 million naira. Then you, because you have 1 million right now, you throw it into that property, and for the next 12 months, they hear nothing from you again. You have not added to your money, you have not done anything, only your 1 million. Now tell me, where are they supposed to get money to finance the development of such estates? And remember, not all real estate companies in Nigeria are broad-chested or can source for funds to develop their estate while their clients are paying up. Sales is hard for this real estate company. I must tell you the truth. Sales is hard. So when you commit to an initial deposit, please make sure that you pay up your balance, because it's part of this money that will be used to develop that estate. And I have on good source, most estates that you hear sold out, 80% are sold out on initial deposit. And this is what developers do now. When they get a certain amount of sales, they close the estate. You just hear sales closed, not sold out. What they are trying to do, they are going to leave it for a while and let people who have subscribed pay. Because when you sell out the whole estate on initial deposit, you just be surprised that for years people don't pay again. We are Nigerians, we are not good, debtors. We are not good debtors, that is for sure. So one of the reasons, the second reason why you just find that most estates are not developed is you. And how do you solve this? When you take up a payment plan, please make sure you see it to the end so that you can fulfill your own side. And if there's any issue, you can hold the developer. But in a situation where you are owing, you've not paid your 18-month payment plan, your 24-month payment plan has just gone like that. Only thing you have done is initial deposit. When there's a problem, when the estate is not developed, then you are also is one of the problem. Number three reason why estates are not developed in Lagos is the problem of inflation. This may not totally stop the development of the estate, but it sometimes and almost all the time slow it down. No matter how big your company is, no matter how big your accounts are, when price increases from what it used to be now to over 8 times in just 6 months, then you know you have to slow down, you have to recalculate. And if the money you've collected from people is not able to build what you want to build for them, then you have to source for more funds. So inflation is a major problem why you see that some estates, especially most estates that are invested in before 2020 or immediately after COVID 2020, you find that they are still the way they are because they were low price. Now imagine an estate, for example, that sold a 1-bedroom apartment at Monastery Road for 18 million naira. 1-bedroom apartment, 18 million naira. I can tell you now that 1-bedroom apartment is selling for 30 million naira in Abijo. Now, you sold in 2020 for 18 million naira, and a lot of people invested in that estate. Now, you also have the problem that I mentioned in number 2, that a lot of people committed only initial deposits to this estate. Yes, that is a major problem. And number 2, inflation just rose. Building materials that you were buying for 30 naira became 200 naira. So you can see that inflation is a major problem developers are facing. It's a major problem why some estates are not being delivered. It's a major problem why estates are also increasing. Prices of estates are increasing rapidly in Lagos. It is good for those whose projects are already completed, then they can sell or increase their price as inflation is. But those that have not built at all, inflation is a major problem. I can tell you there are projects that I know that this is the major problem that is dragging down the development. The number 4 problem why some sold out estates are not developed in Nigeria, or some estates you invested in years ago are not developed in Lagos, Nigeria, is this. Today, there might be no trouble on the land whatsoever. The land could be free and everything is fine, the documentation is fine, and suddenly out of nowhere, because of some personal interest from some individuals in the government or wherever, some powerful individuals, there could be a litigation on that land. A land that has no problem yesterday can have a problem today. You understand it? So this is why also you should buy land from reputable developers who are broad-chested, who can take this shock when it comes around. For example, there was a situation in Abijo sometimes last year, and it will shock you to know that that problem was not a government problem. It was not government that took over that land. It was personal interest from some individuals, powerful in government, that came and caused that problem. Now, some people who had estates in that area were totally demolished. Those lands had no problem before they got it, but suddenly, out of nowhere, problem came. If they tell you that, you will not believe. You will say, oh, they did not check well. But probably there was problem there. No. There are lands in Lagos now where there are issues. And before those lands were started selling, there were no issue whatsoever. But from some people's personal interest, issue came to the land. And some real estate company are broad-chested enough that they go directly to the source and solve the matter. But some people do not have the kind of funds that will be asked for. The problem lingers and they are looking for other sources to solve the problem. I've been in a meeting with the Lagos state government when he was trying to solve an issue concerning the Abijo demolitions, and he said something that I would not like to say on this video here. So that is where you know that most problems sometimes are not from the government, but there are some people powerful enough to think that they just develop an interest in the land, and that land is going to have issue, a land that has no issue for. So government litigation, or let me just say litigation arising on a land that was sold to you is one of the reasons why a land that is supposed to be developed and made available for people to live in is the way it is when it was sold years ago, and litigation is one of the reasons. Number 5 reason why estates, why lands, why products, real estate products are not developed in Nigeria is lack of communication and improper documentation. There are times when you go to the government and government tells you take this land, but just because government tells you take this land, now you think that okay, because government is all sovereign, if asks us to take this land, then you go and take it, then Omonile will now charge you to court and they will win the case and they will take over the land. Then there will be problem because there has been a lack of communication somewhere. You went direct to the government, but just because government has allocated that land to you, you also need to find the Omonile, the people that the land belongs to. They will give you story about that land. They will tell you since when they have been here. And when you listen, that's the same story they will hear in court. And the judge will say, this is the owner of this land. So some real estate companies don't do that. Just because they think they have an upper hand against the government, then they will abandon Omonile. Then in the future, Omonile will come, take that matter to court, get a good lawyer, and that case will be won. Whereas that land has been sold. That land has been sold. So the longer the case stays in court, there's no how that land, there's no how that property can be developed. So it is important that when a real estate company is talking to government to get a land so they can develop. They are also, after talking to government, go and look for the money of that land and also try to appease with them so that everything can go smoothly. There are so many estates that have been sold in Lagos that fall under this category, and those cases are in court. And as long as those cases are in court, there's no way those property can develop. But this real estate company, they will not tell you that. But if you buy from those broad-chested ones, those ones that have huge chest to take shocks like this, they will just relocate you for the land, something else that they have. In summary, I mentioned 5 reasons why estates are not developed in Lagos. Probably you bought a land sometime and the land is still the same. No allocation, nothing done. I mentioned number one, the developer. Know the people you buy land from. There are times when an estate is oversold. Before you buy an estate, ask for the layout. Do you understand? A lot of estates don't have layout yet. They just take the land from the owners of the land, they start selling without a layout. Before you know it, people have oversubscribed. And some people are just in a business to make money. They are not bringing value. They are not thinking of developing. They just want to sell. So know what you're getting involved with and the kind of developer you're getting involved with. Number two, you forget about your initial deposit. The subsequent payment also matters. A lot of estates are sold out on initial deposit. And what real estate companies do now is that they just close sales. If they see that, okay, we have 100 sales already and only 15% are outright, the rest are our 1 million initial deposit. How do they want to develop? How do they want to develop? Just hear sales close. They know what they are doing so that they can get their money in. Then after they've gotten major part of their money in, then they can open the estate again for resale. So you also can be a reason why an estate does not develop. Your initial deposit is good. It means you are showing commitment that you want to invest in real estate, but your total payment will be fine so they can develop that estate. Number three, inflation. Inflation is taking its toll. There are some estates that were priced way low immediately after COVID 2020. They sold immediately. Now, those estates cannot be built because the money for building material now will eat up what they are charged and more. For example, in a one-bedroom flat that sold for 18 million on Monastery Road in 2020, now on even at Abijo, the one-bedroom flat is going for 30 million. So you can see that inflation is dragging that estate from developing. Number four, an estate that has no litigation yesterday can have litigation today because of the interest of some powerful people in government. It's not government that takes over the whole land, but there are some people inside government that can do that using their power. And as places get exposed, as more places develop, this is going to be happening. You buy a land today, there's no government wahala whatsoever. Then from tomorrow, they are going to use, some personal people are going to use government and government tools to come and take over their land. But it is not directly from government. Some people are just using their power in there to take over people's land. And if you bought such an estate in the past, then suddenly it has a problem. If your developer is not strong enough to go in there and settle and give them what they want, then that land is going to be in court for as long as possible. Then number five, improper communication and improper documentation. If real estate company goes to government, gets a land, even after that they need to go to Omonile and also settle Omonile so that they can have a free flow for development on that land. But a real estate company that is on the right side with the government and not on the right side with Omonile is going to have a problem developing that land. And you know Omonile is jungle justice. So there are some estates that I speak to right now that are under this category. So are you, as an investor, what should you do? Just know thyself. Know the developer that you're developing with. Do your due diligence. Make sure that everything is fine. There are some that you can avoid, but you can always invest with a good developer. But that one for litigation, the land that has no litigation yesterday and has a litigation today, you may not be able to totally avoid it. But investing with the right real estate company can solve that issue for you. In fact, there was a property in Awoyaya that has no litigation whatsoever. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, in fact, that place was created as a residential scheme by the Fashola regime, but a new governor came into place, and some people who are in power in that government now brought trouble. Suddenly, they were interested in the land. Now they had to take that land to the governor. So the governor settled and development commenced. So that is why I say it is important that the developer you invest with is broad-chested and can take shock. Some people are in this business to create value, while some are there to make money and run away. You also need to be wary of that. I hope with these few things I've shared, when you see an estate that is not developed, or maybe you bought a land that has not developed yet, and all you see is still grass everywhere, you should know one of these 5 things I have mentioned is happening. Now, talk to your developer, talk to the person you bought from, and see how and know exactly which of these things is going on, so you can put your mind at rest on if there's going to be a solution or if there's not going to be a solution. My name is still remain Ebube. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you learn one or two things in this video, or you know somebody that is going through a situation where a property they bought years ago is not developing, has not developed, you can share this video with them and let them learn, so their mind can be at rest that probably they have not been scammed, but these issues are the reason why, and they can be solved. It may take time, especially if the person they invested in is not a broad-chested developer. There are some developers in Lagos that they have way to funds. They can develop an estate even without making as much sales. But there are those who rely totally on sales to develop an estate. I won't be mentioning names. So it is important that you invest with the broad-chested ones. These ones, they bring value to the market. They have a reason for development. Making money is just more of a secondary thing. Of course, it's a business and they have to make money. So choose your developers wisely. Know the reason why the products or your products you've invested in Lagos are not developing, so you can put your mind at rest. I'll see you again in the next video. God bless you.